Am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something. Oh well, let's just go for it. How you guys doing? Today we have a Toyota Corolla hatchback version. So very straightforward on everything except for these quarter windows right here. So we have the front pocket window, the rear one, same thing on the other side. We're going to be doing full car, well, full without the windshield, headphones. That's it. Headphones. That's what I forgot. 1 second. Let me set these up. So we're doing 5 in the back, 20 on the front doors, and then we're going to do a 5% strip with probably some dot tricks on there as well, which is going to be a little bit unique to a windshield strip, but there's a good reason for it if that's the case. Hang on. What is this connected to? Ooh, might actually be connected. Let's do this. Something like that. Let's see. Sean, Jason, Dean, how you doing? You guys are here early. It's an early morning. Oh, it's working. That's a good thing. Okay, perfect. It's always good when the things just kind of work. Good morning. It's way too early. So late. I need there to be an hour between 10 and 11. I know you could say when it started at 9, but that didn't work. Walk through the back window. Sean! Oh, 1 second. Oh, there it is. Where's Lumia? Is it now working?
Sean Gavin super chatted $5. Here's an early ass super chat for no reason.
Well, thank you. There we go. Sean with the 5, with the early super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much. You let me know that those things aren't working, and now they are. So, hey, there we go. Finally made a live stream. Glad to have you. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just get it started. I know these quarter windows are going to take up a fair amount of time. I'm probably psyching myself out a little bit, but I'm over those quarter windows. But we got some more. It's fine. It's fine. GoPro. Cool. Okay, looks like everything's good. We might have a mic die partway through the stream. I'm not sure yet. We'll just kind of know. So if the audio just stops, I have a way to fix it. But I'm running on a lower battery right now because I just forgot to plug it in. Like always. Did you stream the boat? No. Interesting story on that boat. I brought it in to tint it, and then that is the first thing that I'm not really able to tint out of the shop. So it looks really similar to the other boat that I did, but the curve on this one is just different, and there's too much dash in the way. So if I could pull the glass, which I tried, I would have done it that way. But that's not happening. So called him. He's totally cool with it. He's gonna come pick it up. I don't know. I was supposed to pick it up yesterday. So he'll come get it sometime soon. But no boat stream. And I don't know if I'll take boats. I don't know if I'll take boats anymore. Maybe only particular ones. But yeah, I was not super happy about not being able to do it, but it just didn't make sense. So, rip boat stream, exactly. So I know some people ask, like, have you ever not been able to tint something? Yeah, sure. I have not been able to tint something, and it's sad that that's still the case. All right, that is like top comment of the month. Like, no doubt. The boat didn't get to go down the stream. That's got so many layers to it. Thank you for that. It's just so clever. I love it. Oh, good stuff. What's your favorite what's it? Favorite tools? Oh, least favorite? Sorry, my stupid mic. Oh, what's your favorite and least favorite tool? Oh, okay, I see. That's a good question. I don't know. Everything just kind of has its purpose. I don't want to say the shank, but so the shank might be one of my least favorites that I actually grew to really like. So this guy right here, I think this is one of the dumbest tools that exists that I use regularly. It just works. Oh, I'm sorry, the gentle poker. It just works. I remember when it was first kind of introduced. So I was there's a company called 44 Tools. I was at their building for when they were a Lumar distributor. They would throw these competitions every year, and they were like, we're trying to figure out which one people would like the most. And they pulled out this and 5 other ones. Little did I know that they were part of a palette knife set. And I just thought it was like the dumbest thing ever. And there were some people that were like, oh no, that one looks like it'd be helpful. And then fast forward like 5 years later, the owner of Sun Distributing handed one to me and was like, you should try this. I'm like, that is the dumbest tool ever. And he's like, no, I thought so too, but it's actually good. And then I tried it, and now we use it in every car. And we got custom ones. So there's that. Just kind of funny how that happens. The meme stream. Interested in making or starting a tint business. I tint my friends' cars, keep getting more and more customers. Referrals are like the biggest. You're already like, you're where so many people are trying to get. Like, so you just have natural business coming in. How much money can you make in a year? It's entirely up to you. So for a shop, I've seen a lot of people kind of average out at like maybe 150 to 200,000 gross for a shop in a year. But there's so much more room from there if you run it right. So you'll be clearing over. You can do over 100,000 a year with not too much difficulty in tint if you run things right. That's a one-man person, one-man show. So you really have to kind of buckle down, take on a few, like, really more than a couple cars a day, and you got to charge a little bit more. So you kind of run things more as an operation that way. You just have a system. You know, somebody will come in, though, for a set of doors, add a windshield. There's just a lot of opportunity to upsell into like carbon, ceramic, better films. It's really just how you present it. Don't sell yourself short. So, I don't know. There's a lot of people that make anywhere from, I want to say like 50 to 60. But doing your own thing, you can go far past that. Just applied for my LLC yesterday. Nice, very nice. like the last thing that I just want to get on here before we start cutting. So these quarter windows, I'm trying to think, is this like my third set of these types of quarter windows this week? You know how I said I don't do many Toyotas? This channel seems to be finding Toyotas. Toyotas and Lexus. So these guys, these style gasket seal ones, yeah, they just pushed a little tight. So we're gonna probably have to cut these out a couple times. The bottom gasket here, it pulls back, but there's enough of it that's loose where it kind of like falls back and hits the glass. This corner seems to be a little tighter. We're just gonna try and get it as close to all the edges as we can. I don't want to leave a gap on any of these things, and I don't want there to be dirt. So we're just gonna have to kind of play around with a few different patterns probably and go from there. See what we're running into. See firsthand how the roll downs will be a breeze compared to that. So let's prep that back window, we'll roll the windows up, we'll keep going. I'm 19, I do 2 to 3 cars per day on my own while still in college. You're gonna make more money doing that than whatever job you got out of college. It depends on what you go into. So, but still, like, it's amazing though. Like, going to college, getting a job, working for a company, I mean, there's people that do plenty well by it, but tinting's one of these crazy things where you can do 2 to 3 cars in a day. You charge $300, $400, $500 per car. I mean, I'm thinking without the windshield, really, in those circumstances. And then just like figure out what you would have made in a year with a job from college. It's sometimes ridiculous. A plotter would be helpful for those quarters. Yeah, funny enough, we have one sitting in the corner that I haven't been able to set up yet. Would actually love to try it for something like this, but I could end the stream and set it up off stream, but I wanted to kind of do an overall start to finish. Like, you get this one, this is kind of what the whole thing's gonna be like, because I don't know, I haven't used it yet. So we'll kind of figure out those problems as we go. And kind of the little, those fine irritations when you're setting up a plotter for the first time. Sometimes it can go real easy, but like I remember a couple different times setting up a Vinyl Express or a Graph Tech. Just fine tuning that cut blade, you start ripping through film until it's cutting just right. Cutting on vinyl is a little bit easier. Cutting window tint, it's a thinner material. So you got to cut through like half of it. So you got to cut through the tint part without cutting through the clear, and that's the trick, is just getting it set up right. So I don't even remember exactly where my settings are supposed to be, but there's some guide videos that I'm gonna briefly watch while we're setting this up. It'll be fun. There won't be any cursing or kicking it. Then we gotta like make a space for it. But first we got this in the way. First we gotta actually do work. All right, so this hatch, this one's really gonna be pretty straightforward. It's got a spoiler, but I have this much clearance, which is totally fine. There's so many of them where this back literally butts up to the glass. So as far as I'm concerned, this hatch is gonna be really, really straightforward. Do I have, this place is still a mess from yesterday. We had the nightmare back window that I had to remove. which turned out nice. So thankfully it all went well. But oh my god. Some removals you just don't catch a break on. Usually removals up here aren't all that bad. But, I mean, you can still have film sitting in a car for like 10 years, no problem. And then that stuff is so toast and flaky that it's just a nightmare to work with. All right, so we got some prep. We'll do the windshield last. I like to do that kind of as a closer. So what's really kind of funny about this windshield is oh, you gotta turn it all the way on for it to stop. No, is it still gonna be doing that? So on this, oh, there it goes. So on this windshield, got a little bit of adhesive we're gonna have to clean off there. We have this dot matrix border, and this one is just unnecessary. So I don't know why. I don't know why they do it that way. There's literally no dots around the rest of the window, even on the back windows, quarter windows, anywhere else. But they still felt the need to put this gigantic dot matrix patch right here and on the other side. Really weird. So that's no good. So we'll have to do something about that. Leave it an accessory. All right, so let's roll these. Oh, one more. So I have to, I don't know. We'll do something about that. I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna cut the dotrix on it, but I think we're gonna do dotrix on it. How much for this one? With the strip is $290. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Oh no, we're gonna leave that open. I just want to stop the beep beeps. So we're doing the Pro Classic on this one. So we need our 20%. This guy right here. Why does this feel so light? Because it is. See how much we got left. Probably enough for a couple doors. Roll looks good. Okay, perfect. I got a spare, thankfully. How is the apex going? I gotta talk to them a little bit. There seems to be like a very slight distortion. It's not on the sides, it's on the windshield though. And the Pro Nano wasn't like that. So I'm waiting I was waiting a little bit. But I wanna talk to them about the film a little bit, because I'm sure they'd swap out a roll or something, but there's also a little bit more haze than I'd like on any film. But I realize with the ultra ceramics, there seems to be more haze in general. I just haven't played with anybody else's before. So what I'd like to do is look into those a little bit more. As far as like installing it for somebody, I think you'd be like not with like a slight windshield distortion, but like if that's just the case with super ceramics, then that's just what they are right now. But I would definitely make those disclaimers ahead of time. So I'm still sticking with my lineup right now, and I'll look into it a little bit more. I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to price it, but I'm not just going to start throwing it on cars without talking to them first about it. But as far as heat rejection goes, coloring goes, those things are really, really good. Coloring looks great. It's easy to work with. I had nothing bad to say about it, but if in the end it just doesn't quite look right on haze, then I don't like that. Fiat 500 convertible. No, the back window should be really straightforward. Just a small piece of glass. Pretty easy to get to. The front doors, they're longer, and the seals are a little bit deeper. But it's nothing I haven't been able to. Like they're not that bad. I remember doing a full ceramic one of those. They sold the job for like $950. Convertible Fiat 500. Full windshield. And everything. All right. But yeah, I'd love to get my hands on some other super ceramics as kind of like a baseline, because I don't think there's a lot of info about that. Everybody's just kind of assuming the nicer ones are nice and clear, going off of shops that are already installing them. So I would love to just take all of them and put them like literally on a windshield side by side together, and then we could kind of see tone differences, heat rejection, but mainly clarity. So I haven't quite decided on the ones. I was thinking probably XR Plus, because we get a fair amount of questions about that. Possibly, I don't know. I'm having an issue with bubbles and fingers popping up after install, and reason why everything looks great until the next day. It's because it's not great to begin with. Whenever you have, like, you'll see it. You'll see dirt specks. So a lot of times they're full of water, and the longer, and like as dirt specks dry out, that water gets replaced with air. So it's going to look all types of crappy. That's as a window tinter, that's your number one problem. That's why this is difficult for so many people. So the fingers are, you need to shrink the film more, and all the air bubbles after the fact is just your tint is dirty. That's why this is such a annoying, meticulous thing to do. It's BMW i3 difficult to tint. Man, those are some of the weirdest, funky windows I've ever seen. The back quarter windows are. There's so much paneling in the way. They're like not hard to cut or shrink. They're just hard to get in place. There's just dude, they're just wild. Even like cleaning it. That's what I don't even understand. Looking out of them, cleaning them, like that's even hard to do. So you can kind of like taco the film and get it there without removing anything, but it's kind of a pain to squeegee out. The other windows aren't too bad, but it's just a funny vehicle. Do you have the Nissan Cube? It's kind of like a cube. We do. I just never see them. Nobody likes them here. They're ugly vehicles. Like, some of these, they try and like out unique other car brands with like weirdo styles, and I don't know who's in charge of their department and who okays that stuff, but phew. Have you done one? I have a while ago. They just have funny shaped windows. It's something that I have to demonstrate rather than try and talk you through it, because they're just weird. Too much, definitely too much to try and explain out of it. Have you tried the Tri-Edge or the Reach by Tri-Edge? Yes. I'm not a big fan. I've got a special edition one here too, actually. I've got the normal one, and then Tint was made, thank you, by the way, I'm 85. Oh, so offended. No, I'm fine. It's cool. This thing, I don't like this thing. There's some people that love it. I just don't. Maybe it'll have that use case for me eventually. I just don't like it. I can't figure out how to use it. That's something you could ask in a Facebook group, and there'll be some people. You'll have a couple of people that will chime in on some areas that it could be useful for you. Ideally, somebody that was like, "Yeah, I hated it at first, but then I figured out that if you do this, yeah, I'm in that same boat, man." Tri-Edge makes some great stuff, and then they make some stuff that I'm just like, but why? That's one of those, but why? What's the hose setup that you're using? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's a tint keg. You can find them at Sun Distributing. Did my link work? Oh, it did. Oh, that's special. So it's a pressurized tank. You can put whatever liquids you want in there, so you can slip solution is what obviously most tinners do. And then you pressurize the tank with just an air compressor. The seal is like falling out of the window. I'm just gonna cut it a little short here, and I'll draw a straight edge up there. That car is a cake. You're a cake. Look, if you want to come do the quarter windows for me, then I'll let you come up here. You can take a frozen vacation. Everything else about it, yes. Just get rid of those windows for me, and I'm great. Use the plotter for the quarter window. It's in a box. I got a stream, man. I haven't been able to set it up. But see, that's been this whole week. It was supposed to be set up last week, which is why I went on a bit of a rant about it. It was like, if it was here, then we could get it set up. I had the perfect time last week, so I'm assuming at this point next week. Once I get back from Spain, I'll come by after SEMA. Just swing on in. Swing on in from Texas. It'll only take like a day of driving. Just straight. But then the car won't be here anymore. I'm not driving. Yeah, I wouldn't either. Screw that. That's way too far. I'm trying to wrap my car. What vinyl wrap would you recommend? I'm not. Somebody in chat might be able to help you out. So I know some popular brands are like Avery, Hexus, 3M, and Vivid. But I don't know who I'd recommend. I'm not familiar enough. Something with an air release glue though. Any tips on folding the second step? Always having trouble in this. Folding in the second step. When we get to it. We can stream something good so we can both kill the car in an hour. But then that's a short stream. People like a couple hour stream. Shit, man. It'd probably be in about a half hour to 40 minutes. When you're working with another guy that knows what they're doing, one guy does the back window, the other guy does most of the doors, and then when the guy's done with the back window, you help out with the doors. That's it. It's done. Then it's on to the next one. You could race each other on the side windows. Yeah, but I don't know. Speed competitions, I'm not as much into. Because I know I'm not super fast. I mean, I can speed up, but there's still people that definitely outpace me. I like to just take my time and put out good work now. You still can when you're moving fast, but it's just there's less time for quality control, so you're kind of just like you're just moving. Sometimes that's a good thing. You don't think. It's funny, because you have, like, it's like this ever-revolving circle. You have, there's, like, this inner competition where, like, somebody does a car, and then somebody else is like, I could do that in an hour. And then somebody's like, I could do it in 45 minutes. I could do it in a half an hour. And then somebody posts a video and does it in, like, 20 minutes. And it's like, whoa. And then you have everybody chime in like, but I bet it looks dirty. It's like you just can't win. Everybody was like egging on the speed, and then as soon as you get the speed, it's like now it's a quality issue. You're either taking too long or you're moving too fast. I like quality. I don't care about timing. Yeah, I'm over timing. There's just a general like time in the back of my head from what I'm used to that I'm like, God, I'm taking forever. But as long as I have that time, then it's no big deal. Why are you shrinking these windows? Because we shrink all door windows. Welcome to the channel. Thought it was for significantly curved windows. Doors have a curve. I mean, if they were flat, my tint wouldn't. It had fingers. I would much rather pay for quality than speed. I think most people would rather pay for speed when they're uneducated. And then they find out and they're like, oh. But, you know, to each their own. People that want it here and now. Man, it's such a difference between people. It's crazy. I didn't really know the difference until that's what most of my clients are now. And then every once in a while I'll have an opening. Somebody will call and be like, hey, can I bring in my car now? And it's like, yeah, sure, I can get you in this afternoon. And they either don't show up or they show up with just something that is just a complete turd to work on that has no care whatsoever. And they're just in and out tint jobs. And it's like, good grief. Not super fun. That's a lot of what I used to do because I just worked for shops. I didn't know any better. Wait, this isn't that glass with that coating, is it? We didn't get this far and then just learn that it has that coating on it. Hang on one second. Let me look at this. UVS. Let me do a test. Toyota glass. Can you see the edges on that stuff? You guys know what I'm talking about? This isn't that, right? I just want to be doubly sure. Should just be glass. Okay, yeah, we're fine. Sweet. Okay, so on Toyotas, Lexus, and some, like, this is something that I have to just remind myself of. They do put some coatings on some newer windows for those cars that you just have to watch out for. I think it's way more noticeable. It doesn't look like it. I think it's got like a little gap at the top and stuff like that, but I know they exist. I just don't run into Toyotas all the time. So it's something that just like popped into my head, like, wait, no, this is fine. No problems here. So cool. Always thought window tint was expensive here in Australia until I watch your streams. Yep. Well, thank you for watching. Yeah, that's a big part of this. Is just I want to show what can go into a good tint job. There's people that tint differently and can still put out clean work. Only the NX300, Mirai, and Venza. It's coming out on more and more glass, though, I hear. So that's what's got me a little concerned. But yeah, there's so much that can go into a nice, clean job, and it's just, if that's what you're looking for, this is what it is. So it is expensive for like putting stickers on windows, but if you want really nice, high quality, clean looking stickers on your windows, this is what it takes. We're doing 20 on the front doors, 5 on the back, and then we're doing a strip. And we're gonna do probably dot tricks with that, because it surprised me. I didn't think it'd be that big. It doesn't make sense. They don't do that on so many cars. Even Toyota doesn't do that on a lot of their cars, but they did it on this one. I don't know. I'd love to talk to their designers. They probably don't even know. Or maybe there's a good reason, right? Just like, why is window tint expensive? We just don't know. Scott here. Oh, I read that. Where do you store the clay bar? If you're gonna put it back in the case, you can put a couple pieces of tint in there. It sticks. I found that to be the case with like all of them though. So it's not exclusive to mine. It's just they like to stick to stuff. So I would put it in like a metal tin, and then I'd usually like have some warm water, but I don't leave it sitting in warm water overnight. It's just when it stays a little damp, sitting on a surface like that, it doesn't stick. So like I'll usually just set mine on a rag that I use that day, and then I'll get to it the next day, and it'll just like fall off the microfiber rag. If it sits there for a few days and like completely dries out on that rag, then it's not so fun. Boom. What would be the perfect percentage for the front windshield? Depends, but I like either I'm gonna say maybe 40. So it depends. So I really like I have 50 or 35. I really liked 35 on a windshield. It's a little dark. So I was always a little, you know, little cringy when I'm driving around with it. I'm like, ee. So right now I have 50, and I really like 50. It's just 50 doesn't block as much glare. So like 35, I think, blocks the perfect amount of glare. It just looks a little dark. 50, it looks really nice, and you can get really good heat rejection through a ceramic. So you know, there isn't a perfect shade. There's just trade-offs. 35 if you don't have to worry about a ticket. But then giving it to somebody else to drive, it might be a little dark for them. This is sliding around. This glass. I swear, whenever I run into like Japanese glass, it always slides like a little bit easier. It doesn't have the same type of sticking. I don't know why that is, but it does. So I'm just trying to make sure that this is all lined up, and then when I lock it in place, like that's where it is. It started shifting around a little bit, so we might have to warm up the glass. I usually go heavier on my soap, but you see how fast it can stick. So like on the last car, that was the case. For these quarter windows, that'll be a great thing though. The more slidey that this can be, the better. So people ask me too, how much soap do you use? Well, it varies, but this is kind of like, if your tint is sliding around this much, it's a little on the heavier side, but you gotta let it settle first. So get it in place, get it as worked out as you can, and then just be patient. I'm not in a rush to tint the bottom. The bottom's all covered. So what I can do is if I want to get it to stick a little faster, I can take a heat gun, I can warm up that top edge. What tape are you using? This is tuck tape. Works really well. Lowe's tape works really well. Tuck tape's a little bit wider and I think a little bit stickier, but very similar products. If you're in Canada, get tuck tape because it's just easier. It's easier for you to get. It's from Canada. But we can buy it here on Amazon. So it's not too hard. It's just only available in Amazon. See, now when I push on my film, it's stuck. It's not moving anywhere. It had a chance to sit, warmed up the corners too. So I'm just gonna wet that. So when I roll it up, it's not gonna push on a seal. or anything like that. Just something extra that you can do. See, roll it up, roll it down. It's fine. Sweet. Convenience have it so good. Yeah, except with everything else. Okay, not everything else, but like when you're talking about tint supplies, there's a lot that they just don't have available there that they've got to pay extra shipping for. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of both. I think I prefer having tuck tape. Yeah, I definitely, like, I prefer, I think, tuck tape. I mean, this is also just like having Lowe's logos all over the windows while I'm tinting, I'm not a super big fan of that. This looks a little cleaner, in my opinion. You know, people ask about, like, the plastic, too, on the doors, and it's like, wow, you like Lowe's, don't you? Oh, you bitch. How does that even happen? Hang on. Think we can save it? Or did we go through all that work for no good reason? It's still very fresh, and if you can peel it up just right. Oh, come on. See that little bow? Yay. There's like... How do you get that? There we go. Let's see. I got one speck right here. So I want to make sure that I get this out. We out? Cool. How do you get it tucked so easy? Practice. So I don't go super far down into the seals for one. And two, it's about, you like create that little roll there. Get your corners in, pick it all up, and then just whisk it down. Yay! That's better. Do you have any good tint that you recommend me? Price doesn't really matter. Well, hello. Get Geo. Geo's a really good film that you'll be able to get. Like if you're looking to get into tinting, you don't mind spending more money for a quality film. If you're just looking to tint one car, that's a little, like you kind of have to buy more than just one car's worth, like usually half rolls, but GeoShield, you can find GeoShield USA. Sweet. I think that turned out much better. There's just like, I'm glad I caught it when I did, and I didn't have all these edges completely locked down. It's just like one speck of sand type thing, like one big enough dirt speck right in the middle. Sweet. That looks That looks good. So we pulled it up from the bottom. So one thing I'd be concerned of is pulling back dirt, but I mean, this, you gotta remember, this is also a pretty clean vehicle, pretty new. Looks good. Okay, cool. But yeah, there's like just that one that you would like, you could see it. What was that? I don't get why my car can't get tint right without dirt in the windows. Do you think it could be my car? I legit paid $500 for my tint, but ended up 2016 Mustang GT. I've got it tinted 2 different places, 3 different times now. Every time there's dirt in the windows. Any tips? There is always going to be something that you can point to. Now, the level of what you can point to, that's always the question. Because it's hard to say. It could be like I didn't see the car. If it's more than like, you know, basically if you start seeing like little clumps of dirt, if you see like one little speck here, one little speck there, that's going to be normal. But if it's like, no, it's legitimately like it just had some bad tint jobs, then that's no fun. It's hard to say. Even sun stoppers, they have it's got about 5 specs in a group. That's not super great. Yeah, I agree with that. You can't just say don't be picky because you don't know quite the situation. And it's like, I'm spending too much time. I don't know. Definitely sounds like you're pickier, but you could have just had, you know, just somebody should be able to at least make the windows look good enough for you, especially you're spending that kind of money going to a couple of places. I don't know what to tell you. Because look for a reputable shop, which you obviously did, and keep hunting for it until you find something that works. I don't know, but there is always going to be something. They're never going to be perfect. Wow, this window doesn't give you a lot of space, does it? So, I guess we need a blade. No flat out squeegee? No, I like the hybrid better. What's considered a bad tint job? Kind of what we talked about. Like bad tint job could, a lot of time it's really up to the owner, but clumps where you have like groups of speckles, you know, it is at the end of the day kind of like it's all subjective. The film is on the car. But a good tint job is really tight gaps at the top, very clean. There shouldn't be any types of grouping. So you could have like maybe 1 or 2 together, but like when you start getting more than that, it's just there shouldn't be. I want one of those. Want one of what? There's a form on Sun Distributing that explains everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. They do make forms available on there. So if they don't pick up the boat, do you keep it? I mean, I guess. I could push it down the stream. I don't know what else to do with it. No, they'll come get it. Yeah, if they don't pick it up by tomorrow, I keep it. No. It just looks good in the background, though. So I'm not complaining. Corolla hatch. Ooh, this car is getting some compliments. That's nice to see. Tuck tape, what's the purpose? Keep things clean.
David Weimer
Where's the
super
thing?
chatted $2.
There it is.
Is Lexan any good?
Banned. David with the 2, thank you. Is Lexan any good? Oh, you know. I know you know. Banned. Thank you, by the way, for still helping with the group. I've checked, like, for something to do, like, a bunch of times, and there's just nothing, like, every time I check, it's just everything's been taken care of, and I'm like, oh, okay. I'll see myself out. It used to take up so much extra time. So this past week especially has been a huge help because oh my God, just the sheer amount of issues. My tuck tape pulled off pieces of leather on a BMW door. Eee, thank you for the heads up on that one. Sorry to hear that. That's definitely not great. Everything I've used it on, it's been okay. But I haven't run into BMW leather yet. I don't think there is a perfect type of sticky for door panels, but I can tell you, like, this is kind of newer, uncharted territory for, like, door covering solutions. You either tuck something in and then keep the water off the panels that way, or you stick something to the panels in a way that'll helpfully keep things a little bit more watertight. I mean, yeah, pretty much what you see is we put it on, we tint the window, and then we remove it. I don't like water sitting in between there for long if it does get in between there. So there's definitely some things that could happen. Every door panel, they use any number of materials, and then those materials start to age. So I haven't personally had a problem with it yet, but you don't have a problem until all of a sudden you do. It also had all suede interior. Oh, jeez. I don't even know. I didn't even know, because, like, what do you do? You gotta figure out other creative ways to, like, tuck a plastic cover in there. Like, you could tuck it in, like, the gaps and stuff. I did that for a little while. It can help. Sometimes on a vehicle like that, it'd probably be better too. I've noticed the longer the tape stays on, the less it wants to come off. It makes sense. Maybe we're just like kind of quick applications here. But that's generally how most of this is gone. It stays on for a period of time. You see most of the stuff that we work on. So I remember somebody was like, you should try tuck tape. And then we got into sheathing tapes. And that's kind of how this whole thing took off. How do I just get a notification, but like, where, oh, is it up here? Is that it? How much would you charge? How much would you charge for a 21 Camry, 5% on the back, 15 in the front, 35 on the windshield? And that you'd have to go with a carbon, because we don't have 15
David
in the
Weiner
standard.
super chatted $2. A detailed installation for the 1/4 Plaza. Sad face.
Aww. David with the 2, a detailed installation for the quarter, please. Dude, these are going to be super thank you. These are going to be the most, these are going to be the most frustrating windows of the car. So I'm just, what you see is what you get on these. So I'll try and talk through it as best as I can. But man, little quarter windows like these aren't always super fun to do. I stick gasket push sticks in those. Where though? I don't really see a spot to put them. Because like in this one, it's all like metal trim around here, and then you got the rubber thing. So I can try and like pry this back with any number of tools. The corners. You just leave them in there, and then when it's time to tint them, that's when you remove them. So you kind of like loosen them up ahead of time. I've seen that. Ah. You know, I forgot about that. I did that on a Subaru a while back. We could do that. I have a bunch of tri-edges I can put in there. How about this? How about we'll do this door, and then we'll remove the plastic, and then I'll set it up for that. And then we'll go work on some other stuff, and then we'll come back, and then we'll install them that way. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, because you just need them stretched out a little bit. Yeah, post it again if you can. That'd be great. Chiselers, like anything small that you can kind of like wedge in here and just kind of free them up. I get what you mean. Yep, that sounds like it'd be a good idea. Oh, you guys are so helpful. Oh, 2 chiselers together, tri-edges I didn't think were enough. Interesting. I've also heard wire. Oh shoot, I bought wire too. I don't know where I put it. So somebody said like an 8 gauge, or not an 8. It was like a 10 or 12 or something. You wedge a piece of wire up in here, like cut it, and then just put it here, and it'll help lift the window, lift the gasket out of the way. Although I don't know if they remove the, I don't know if they remove the wire after the fact. May just be part of that seal at that point. Where do you get that clear roll for the panel? Carpet shield. I heard Sun Distributing is working on getting carpet shield. They'll get it, and then we'll get something. Okay. Oh yeah. So we were also quoting a job here. I totally forgot. So a Camry with the windshield. There's a couple different prices. So it'd be $370 in the standard. I don't have a 15% in that though. I have 20. With carbon, which I would recommend over that. With the full windshield, what is it? It's 320 plus 160. 480? Is that what that is? I don't remember my own pricing. And then it's 650 in ceramic. Yes, that's right. Like I said, I don't pull in a lot of cars in a day. I try and spend more time on the stuff that I have here. More about quality versus quantity here. But even then, I'm not exactly the most expensive shop around. Especially in my standard 240. There's a lot of people here, a lot of legit shops that seem to be starting around 300, and just places that I've been tinting for a while still were around like 2 something. So I didn't realize that was going on in other places. So that's why I started at 240. But hey, live and learn. I'm just still pretty conscious about being a newer business though. So I get phone calls. People have no idea that I have a channel. People have no idea who I am. I'm another tint shop, so stay a little bit more competitive that way. So it's just when it gets slow, you still have that chance to pull in some extra business. I paid 400 plus. That's not bad. Don't look, like, at the end of the day with window tint, it's like getting your car worked on. It's tough to say. It's like prices are all over the place. Part of it is where you live. Part of it is, like, the other part of it is who you decide to go to. And at the end of the day, if you paid a fair amount for a tint job and you're happy with the results, then just be happy with the results. It's not like buying a car from one dealership and then you could have got a better deal from another sales guy or something like that. It's like the installation is a huge part of it. So if you got a nice clean tint job, then be happy with your nice clean tint job and don't worry about the price. That's what you paid for. I'm 685 ceramic with a windshield. Nice, very nice. It's just kind of funny because, like I said, where a lot of places that I've tinted for, like, you know, mobile, there were places that were charging like $350 starting for a car, and then add another $200 for like a windshield, and that was just like standard. And then some other places, like I would tint in some sketchy areas, where you know, you couldn't get them to charge over $200 for a car. So it's just the business evolves over time. But being mobile, I got a healthy perspective of quite a few different businesses. So when I went out on my own, there's a lot of like, you know, most places that I was tinting for weren't trying to sell different films. It was just the people were coming in. They weren't interested in getting a better film. They just wanted a cheap tint job or just a tint job. And that was it. So I had to kind of like teach myself that side of the business. You know, like I knew all about film, but trying to relay that to other people that are then coming in, like I didn't understand at the time why, you know, some shops can sell $1,000 tint jobs no problem, and then why mine is just like, you know, the shops that I tint for don't. Like, how do you get there? Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Oh, hi. Can I call you back in a little bit?
Okay, do you still want us to hold the Sienna?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay. All right, perfect. Yep, no problem. Bye. Looking into a minivan. Getting a ceramic coating some places $1,000 plus, others charge less. More around my area, it's about $1,000. Yeah, and for like, depends on what's in there too. Some people, like a lot of places, do full-on paint corrections associated with it. It's just like, but when you see like the ceramic coating portion of it, like if everything's all set, ready to go, it's like they have the space, then they just put the little thing on the and smear it around your paint. There you go. You got your ceramic coating, $1,000, and you're like, wait, what? But there's a lot on the back end that goes into getting to that part. So, and then detailing business, they have like, they have cleaning stages. Oh, it's great. But, you know, I get it. If you're not actively looking out for that type of, like, those businesses, if you don't go and see them firsthand, then you just kind of stay in your own world and things are the way that they are. But the more you travel around, talk to different businesses and realize like, oh, hey, they're just completely different. How did they get here? Well, it's really, really fun to talk to them. So when I went to the Chicago Auto Pros class, we did a tint class, and man, that is just a sweet setup that they have there. And it was awesome talking to Jason about that whole business, how it got going. Started out of a parking garage near Lake Michigan, in like in the dungeon. Do you ever plot patterns? Not usually, no. We're gonna be getting into that a little bit more, and we're gonna find out if it fits in line with some of the stuff here. There's certain windows like these types of quarter windows, back windows, maybe windshields, probably not. That'll be will make a little bit more sense to plot, like truck back windows especially, that's a good one to do. But doors are where they always would let me down the most. So we hand cut everything. We don't really need to use a plotter, but by like popular demand in certain circumstances, it's just we'll be getting into them. Browse for sure. The windshield strips, I've had problems with full windshields with plotters, so I'm a little sketchy to do windshield strips. But I like the idea of already having them curved, because that's not something I ever do. Their preparation is what people are paying for with ceramic coating. Yep. Absolutely. They cut a nicer edge than the factory? No. No, that's where they've let me down. See, glass varies. So when you take a pattern across like all cars, generally speaking, they'll be pretty close. But when you want to get super tight up to the top, plotters, they're pre-programmed with a pattern, and if that pattern isn't quite perfect up at the top, or that window is a little bit different, it's just not going to work. Oh, for a brow, is that what we're talking about? Gotta love the delay. I'm here trying to put on a window. Forget we're talking about windshields. I think my car shut off. Gotta turn that thing back on. See, I want you guys to take note of like stuff like this. When you can get edges like this tight with a plotter, that's what we're going to be comparing it against. But plotters, like, they're more for production, so that's the point I want to get across. I'm not a production shop. There's lots of good enough work out there. That's why all the other shops exist. Alright. Let's warm this one up just a little bit. Hand cut doors all day, plotter on back windows and brows. Sounds like a pretty good combo to me. And that'll save you a good amount of time. And hey, you don't even have to buy glass aid if you're doing it that way. Thoughts on Matico film? I've never really played around with Matico. I'm kind of unfamiliar. Like Johnson's. I know they exist, I just never used them. What software? We're going to be using one called Film Cut. The quarter windows. We get, if you told me we get a 51-inch plotter for quarter windows. Hey, if it makes my life easier. I have a plotter for PPF. You can use it for, if it's a halfway decent plotter, you can use it for window tint too. You can use it for all of them. What's cool is you can just get different. I have a cut head for tint and one for vinyl, and really with different types of films, you're gonna kind of want to get different cut heads for all of them. I don't know if that's the right term, but basically the plotter blade, the whole little stick thing. You get 2, 3, 4 of those, and just have them all set up for the different films. Just have them labeled and just swap them out. You can have different like pressure presets on a lot of plotters too, but when you're cutting into different materials, sometimes you have to extend the blade out or pull it back in just a little bit more. So there can be a little bit more with it. Blade holder, there we go, that thing. All right, this is a good example here. Let me look at this one before I get too far. Oh, we had a couple little things popping up. Let me get these down. That's why I like the tape. So if you have little fingers jutting out, it means we could have shrunk it a little bit more before we installed it. What does this mean? That means shrink more. So on this back door, it's pretty good. All this is fine, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 speckles right now that I can see, just kind of gathered up here. That's not cool. So I'm gonna redo that door. But that's kind of what I would consider a not so good one. It's very passable in the day-to-day, especially when the rest of the car looks good. But that's what I kind of call more of a grouping. It's not like 1, 2, 3. It's just, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Did we only squeegee this off once? I don't know. Whatever the case, I just didn't like it. What do you think that happened? I don't know. It just did. Sometimes I'm not sure. You just go through all the steps. You have a dirty one. You have just some speckling. I might have only squeegeed it off the one. Like, I don't know. It could have been any number of little things. It just the difference between that and some of the other windows is literally that. So it happens all the time. You go through all the motions, cross your fingers, clean it off. You have something you don't like. Where did it come from? I don't know. They think it happened because I walked away. So we're going to cut this out to this window now, instead of double cutting from the other side. I set up a plotter, wasted so much film. Yep. That's why I want to stream it. Maybe it'll go smooth. I don't know, but I'm very familiar with just seeing plotters used in shops, and when they're working, they're great. And then all of a sudden you'll have that day where they just suck. Oh, what? Did this slide on me too? No, I think we're okay. All right, just put it right there. Have you ever had defects in the film that cause speckles? Not really. Not visibly. Most of the time, speckles are just dirty windows. You can have a bad roll, but typically it'll be wavy, distorted. If you see speckles or something, then you definitely see it ahead of time. Did we really just do that? Son of a bitch. I didn't like that. Alright. Shorten it. Just a smidge. Can you zoom in on how much excess you leave on the sides and the bottom? Yeah, I can try to. Why trim the bottom when you can just line it up? On this one? This one curves. This one goes swoop. So you might as well just cut it. Usually it'll come from using like a 36. So it's just easier. I already have all the patterns overlapping everything, so I just cut it. But if I'm using like shorter rolls, like a 20, then I'll often line up the bottom on a lot of rolls. Really annoying. You just need like a sliver off the top. So have you ever tried trimming off just a sliver? Snap your blade, keep it low, but 30 degrees are a little better at doing that. How can I avoid watermarks? Where are you getting watermarks? Okay. Between the film and glass. You gotta let it dry, my dude. So when you tint a window, it's gotta dry out. If you still have something in between the film and the glass, you're using mud? I don't know. All right, so where were we? Let's clean this off again. Yeah, I don't know where those speckles came from. Maybe there's just a little bit on the top edge that fell down. Maybe, I don't think I brushed it against anything, but whatever the case, we're just gonna spray a little bit more up here. We're gonna squeegee it off. We're gonna swipe it off and shoop-a-doo. And flush this guy out. And then hopefully the next time around, we don't have that problem. Oh, it's most likely just moisture. Like if everything was tinted like any other car, it's most likely just moisture in between the film and the glass. You just new to seeing it. Because there's no water spots with tinting. Like something on a leftover like residue on a door panel. Like you could have like water blisters, but that's like after it's tinted. It's part of the drying process. Super.
Devon Mistakes super chatted $4.99. Any tips on avoiding scratching tint when tucking corners and whatnot with the cuts? I have the scraper and the triangle one you're using.
Yeah, there we go. It died. I knew it would. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, 2 seconds. Hello. Hello. Is this working? Is it working? Hello. There we go. Okay. Potato quality? Is it that much worse? Any tips? Okay. So any tips on avoiding scratching? So there's a couple of things. Triage makes a tool called the Smooth It. You can also use like sandpaper or something like that, but the more that you use the tools and the seals and stuff, you'll work in little like rough spots to the cards. So you really should just buy a bunch of them, and then after a little while, you're gonna want to swap them out, or at least like try and sand them down or something. Use like 1,000 grit sandpaper or something. I'll usually just replace them. Just buy a bunch at a time, swap them out. You don't have to deal with that, but. But yeah, so like when I swipe here, I'm always doing this too to make sure that there's no dirt specks on the card when you go to swipe. But it still happens here and there. So I don't like when that happens. Come on, there we go. Just can't get that grip. All right, so let's see what we're working with now. Where can you buy GeoShield? You can get it at GeoShield USA. You can also find it at Tint Stuff. Oh, it's not gonna work. Tint stuff. Oh, it's not gonna work. Yeah, mytintstuff.com. Sorry, my headphones aren't working. Or my microphone's not working right now. So no links in chat. Sorry, it's what happens when my microphone dies. I walked in here and it was unplugged, and I'm like, uh-oh, that's no good. So now, when I look in here, I don't have speckle, 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 speckle. So literally the act of tinting it and then pulling that tint off and then retinting it will help make it turn out even that much more better, because it's like just a sheet of sticky paper and just pulling off all the trash with it. But yeah, this is going pretty good. How would you tint the Civic hatches? Get that. That's how I do them. I bought the glass. It was like $160. Totally worth it for me. I've only done a couple of them though, so I guess it's not completely worth it, but you know. All right, so now what do we have to do? We should probably pull those. We got quarter windows to do. And that's the only back window. That's the only back window I've ever bought. So that kind of tells you the amount of crap that you have to go through for one of those cars. So for me, it would either be I have a disclaimer up front about those cars that just, oh, I don't tint them, or oh, I have to splice the back window, or oh, I have to do this or that. But I thought I'd get enough of them that it would be worth it to buy the back window, but I just haven't got that many of it. But I'm not upset that I bought it. Okay, so now we got a quarter window. We got a few quarter windows that we have to do, and then we'll do the back window. Oh, then we got to do a windshield strip. So we got roll downs done. Yay, that's the easy part. 5%, and then do we have a short 20? I don't know. Where's my? That's Pro Nano 20. We don't want to put that on quarter windows. That's still Pro Nano 20. I guess. Really? Is it back here? Oh, I guess I put it back. Oh, okay. That's nice. At least I had it in an easy spot. How's it going? I wanted some pointers. Been struggling with oval SUV or rear windows like the Acura MDX Honda Fit. Shrink like heck. Still get a bunch of fingers and crazy. Well, pay attention for when we go to this back window. I guess it's similar. Those windows just, I don't know. They're not all that hard as far as the back window goes. You shrink them like any other back window. So I don't have any specific tips, just I guess pay attention when we get to it. Yeah, we're using a 24 because we're just gonna cut out the same, or like just enough for both sides, but we'll probably have to redo it like 2 or 3 times. Oh, are we supposed to put like a card in there or something? Dang it. What do we got? Maybe we could do the back window first. My toolbox is slowly becoming a mess. I got the little ones. Trying to think of what other wedge tools that I have. It's kind of like tri-edge. These small ones. They're not the biggest ones out there, but you could wedge this back a little bit. Just kind of put one on top of the other, put them in there. Probably warm it up too, just a little bit before you go to install it, so it has a little bit of memory. That sounds like a good idea. We're just gonna wedge a handful of these suckers in here. Look at that. How's that? Not too shabby. Let's do the back window first, and then we'll get to this. Look at that. We'll do that with the front. We got enough of these little ones. So I'm gonna do the back window first. I'm gonna let these sit, and then we'll finish up with all the quarter windows. Oh, we'll get it. I'm not concerned with we'll get it. I'm just how much do we have to do it? Not looking forward to that part. But maybe this will make it a little bit easier. There is no ignition to leave the key in. It's just that's just it. It's just here's the key. So we're doing that because it's a gasket style seal, and somebody made a really helpful suggestion to put a wedge in there. Trick the door? No, I don't like doing that. It's okay, it's done now. It just needed to be locked and unlocked. I thought we forgot the key or something, which I guess we might have. See, like, tricking the door is like, the reason why I don't like to do it is I forget. I forget right before I go to close that door. And then next thing I know, I just whack. Like, hey, yeah, car turned out great, guys. Let's take a look. Whack. Oops. Okay, so I like this more so. If you've ever tinted Ford Focus hatch, this is easier than that. This gives me way more clearance than that. Much easier than the Honda Civic hatch, but when you have the piece of glass sitting over there, the Honda Civic hatch becomes much easier to tint. But of them, this will be the easiest one to do. So with most hatches, I'll spray just a little bit of water to kind of grab the film so it's not just falling off the window. But it will kind of screw with my shrink a little bit, but this isn't a very curvy window or anything. Does anybody know how to prop up these newer style wipers? It didn't seem like it wanted to do that. Oh, I guess that does go a little farther. Let's put that there. So let's take a heat gun. So if the tint is just sticking, I'm gonna lift it back up, lay it back down so it floats a little bit more. But there's not much shrinking that has to be done, so any other back window you see me shrink, it's all gonna look the same here. Did you try and flip this plastic up? This one seems different than the slightly older one. This is also like metal now. Looks like there was a change. Put the wiper up and put the shank in it. I don't think we can on this one. This one's different. Like is it? It's hardly. It didn't really. No, not much. It's just new enough. Just different enough. Okay. So if you're having trouble on tinting the Golfs, do this. Leave bunch of material at the bottom. You're gonna, like we talked about yesterday, you're gonna want to pull shrink. This is way easier than a Golf, but this is what it'll look like. Hey! Daniel Reyna making the appearance.
Daniel Reyna super chatted $9.99.
Oh, my headphones are different. Oh, I didn't hear it. Good morning. Thank you for the 10. How you doing? I'm having some mic issues. I forgot to charge it. It's my bad. So that means I have to change all my audio settings. Yeah, this makes more sense. I do this on a lot of the wiper back windows rather than take a 10 mil and pull it off and whatever. I'll just prop it back with the heat gun cable. It's not like the easiest thing to do, but it's definitely quick and gets the job done. Some of those wipers need a good hard pull. On it, want to see it done first. I don't want to just go yank on this one. The new style. I don't know what's changed about it. I'll have somebody else mess it up first. Where's my knife? See, that's the thing. There's just something about being live with a lot of this, like, I don't know, maybe, I would rather not it be front and center when we're just playing around with a brand new car. It's something you, like, pull into a shop, you have a tech working on it, they're making all the mistakes, or it's just like, it's out of sight, out of mind, and then you figure out what you need to do with some trial and error. But when we're front and center on live, yeah, no. Where's my line? There it is. So this part, gotta pick the wiper up, hold the light, still trace around it. Caravans and some other different style hatch back windows will get a little trickier with that wiper in the way. This one is really straightforward. What happens to the Harbor Freight light? It's around here somewhere. I don't know. I put it down. I think we used it. And then I set it down and I lost it. It's here. I just don't know exactly where. This is the first one that it's getting dim. I need more I need more AAAs for that one. Much rather use the Harbor Freight than that one. Oh, I thought it was all cut. I was looking at the wrong line. That's not good. Let's finish that. There we go. dokie. Do you still have to shrink plotted film? Yes. Yes, all a plotter's doing is giving you the pattern. So when I hand cut doors, that's all a plotter does for you. It just cuts into the film. Then you actually need to do steps past that. So it cuts out, it etches a pattern into the film, but then you still have to put that film on like a board, a glass board or a table, and you have to trim out all that extra, all that film. And then you have to shrink it, and then you have to install it. Pretty sure you slide the plastic cap back. Which one? This one? I don't know, it's not doing much. We got everything that we needed out of it though, without having to pull it. So you see where like I could sit here and I could fiddle with it and I could try and figure it out and just, or I can just keep doing what I was doing. So I don't know. Every door panel, every car, it's a little puzzle. Once you know how to do it, it can save you time. Until then, push middle, then pull. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try and fiddle with it. It's just wasting time. Oh, is it not on here? Oh, we had it locked, that's why. Of course it has a release. It better. So we're gonna leave that here. Let's just grab an oversized towel. This guy. Where do we put our clay bars? Hey, cool. Right here. So you just leave them sitting on a towel, and for the most part, they're fine. You leave them on there and it gets hot and then cools down. Sometimes it'll stick to the fibers, but I just like set them on a towel or something. I can look up see, that's the thing. I can't even really look up a video right now to figure out the wiper. I'm just kind of guessing. I'd look it up afterwards and maybe figure something out or see a recommendation in a group. Not bad. Pretty clean for a new car. You hope, right? This one gives you a nice border all the way around. See, if this one just got rid of the quarter windows, oh, I'd be such a happy camper on this one. What time is it? It's almost 1. This will be the longest, nitpickiest Toyota Corolla stream you ever seen. But I got time for it. I told them to get comfy. Because they're waiting on it too, but they actually drove like an hour to be here. So, I'm gonna make it worth the time. It's nice that I actually have time for that too. Why don't you remove the windows? Well, one thing that they told me when they came here was they even appreciated that I don't take the door panels apart. So, some people on brand new cars, when they see you having to take it apart just to get a nice tint job, I don't like it. But you can develop your client base any which way that you want. I don't know, learned how to not take most stuff apart when I tint. I agree it'd be easier on those quarter windows. No, just a little, come on, don't stick. Why you do this? There you go. It's like, cha, 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 cha. Make sure everything's all tacked in place. Have you personally seen what holds the panel on a Toyota? No, I can imagine. Probably not a whole heck of a lot. But there isn't much in the way of... It's like 3 Phillips and clips. You must be new here. Why is he not taking everything apart? He should be taking things apart. He should do it the way I do it. I got a whole catalog of cars that I've done that don't involve doing any of that. Is it the glass that you use, the glass board that you use, is it self-ordering? Yeah, I'm new. I know. There's quite a few cars like that. There's quite a few cars that aren't hard to like pop the seals, pull the door panels. I just don't like taking stuff apart. And most things I've tinted, I don't have to take stuff apart. These are super easy to tint without taking anything apart, except for the quarters. So I'll give it to you on the quarters. But I don't know. It's a hot debate for sure. There's some people that like pulling stuff, and you learn differently than I did, so it makes more sense for you to do. I never really paid attention to door panels to take apart. Personally, remove all door windows. Like you take the glass out of the car. You must not be from the States either. Okay, so this has been sitting here for a minute. So we're gonna get this cut and then we'll get to it. But this back window went real nice. Europe? I knew it. Look at that. It's a very non-American thing to pull all the glass out. Nobody here in the States, as far as I know, pulls the glass out of the car to tint it. Even like the rivets and stuff, you gotta like reapply rivets and ugh. That doesn't sound fun at all. It sounds like more work. But hey, I don't do it. So I'm just not familiar with it. I just know what it sounds like. Where's my 20-inch roll? Guys, where did I put it? Did we even have one? Yeah, we did. Wait. Toyota doesn't have rivets? Not Toyota, but some companies would. Why am I totally spacing out on this roll right now? That's my 5. Oh. I had it all set up where I needed it to be. Only common car in Europe that has rivets is Volvo. So you like remove the rivets of those and like reapply them just to tint a Volvo. Yo, you know what you should do? I mean, you might catch a lot of flack for it in the groups. There's a market for a lot. You might catch a lot of flack for posting that because US tinters just don't do things that way. But there'd be some general interest in seeing the whole process for tinting a car outside of the vehicle. I mean, people would think that you're nuts, like, because it sounds crazy, but if that's how you guys do them. Anytime I've tinted a window outside of the vehicle, it turns out dirtier than inside, so. Okay, so we're gonna just try and cut this as exact as we can. Cross our fingers real hard. If I had to remove stuff, I wouldn't be tinting, scared of removing stuff. Yeah, it can happen. There's usually that level of learning, if anything. It'll happen. We just put it on a stand. I'd love to see the stand. The window tint stuff Facebook group. Doing a C300? Nice. C300s aren't bad. It's Mercedes. They're not terrible. You'll be able to do it. I have faith. How do you avoid making the pinch points? It happens. So, on tight door seals, sometimes they're somewhat unavoidable. And then just press them out afterwards. Coming back next time for sure. Good luck with those triangle windows. Thanks. It's the like one part I haven't been looking forward to on this whole. Cause like what I want to see is the first thing that pops into my head when completely pulling out a door glass is like, okay, one, I gotta remove the whole door glass and then I gotta reinstall it without scratching the film. And I've seen auto glass guys try to put back door or try to install door windows. And it's a challenge just to get the windows in the car. Because you got to drop it into the frame. So now you got the tint to worry about and like scratching the whole thing. Could be a nightmare. I mean, I've installed a few door glasses before. No thanks. Would you guys recommend buying large rolls? Oh, there's more to that. Oh, I haven't stuck carpet shield to a door panel in a little while. That's pretty good. We tape the outside and the inside where the seals go. I gotta see it. You gotta post it sometime. All right. So we wedged it. It's been sitting for a little bit. We should probably warm it up just a little bit. The delay from video to audio is so annoying. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it like significantly different? I didn't realize it would be different because the audio is coming from like the same source. So okay. Are you opposed to private video calls for help? No, I just don't know if they'd be helpful. I guess I don't know what I'd charge. But I'd have to. I mean, that's kind of, like, I've never wanted to do that because I don't feel it'd be helpful. Oh, there's one. No, I'm just kidding. Because, like, I feel like I'd need the car here or an example car in order to do something like that. Because I want to jump through the screen to, like, try and help somebody out. Like, no, just do it like this. So, I don't know if it'd be helpful. It got even worse when I refreshed. Oh, it sucks. Son of a bitch. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you?
Hey, this is Nick. Hey, you're at the shop right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because that guy just called and he wanted to make sure that someone was there. He wants to pick up his boat.
Oh. Okay, yeah, you can pick up his boat.
give him a quick call back and tell him that you're there so he can swing by and grab it.
Yeah, I'm streaming, but he's welcome to come and pick it up. I'll just put the stream a little bit on hold and dance back and forth a little bit if I have to. But yeah, no, it'll be fine.
Okay. Easy enough. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Who did it? Sorry, I'm a little speechless right now. Was that, David? David, did you have the suggestion on wedging these? Is that, like, sorry, I'm a little speechless. That just went in. It just like, right in place. How about that? Hey! I was so dreading this little quarter window. We have just a little sliver right there. That little guy, that popped right in place. That looks awesome. Sweet! And we got the other one wedged too. Looks like these will be hopefully easy peasy. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the back one too. Dude, that is way awesome. Yeah, wedge them. I warmed it up just a little bit. So I thought maybe that would help, like, it retain some sort of, like, memory, but I don't know if it's 100% necessary. But yeah, looks good. Bought a car with tint. Looks like there's 1.5 millimeters space below the top of the glass. Below the top of the glass? I think this was a pre-cut. Yeah, well, there usually will be a gap at the top for most aftermarket tint jobs. It's just kind of how they are, unless they're like shaved or filed off. Very normal. I mean, if it's like you say millimeter, it sounds like really small. So I don't know. If it looks big, then it was just a not so great job. But there'll usually be like some little space up there. Do we even need to do it on the back ones? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put one here. Put one here, just to be on the safe side. Look, it's now a new cool accessory. You guys notice how much I'm walking around the car? In my dad's trunk, it's like 1/2 inch. Oh, that's like, yeah, that's way too much. It should only be like a small one at the top. You always have some little gap there. At least for most people, you have some little gap there. Hang on one second. So many things. Where's my... Oh my God. Notifications galore. Sorry, I've been streaming for so long now that I have to catch up here real quick. Oh, here. Helping my wife with something. She just got a new phone. Try that. Hopefully that works. Okay. So let's cut this out. In the meantime, if that wedge is like consistent, dude, I am like way stoked. It just made my life way easier on certain ones, not all of them. I did a Lexus the other day that had like no problems with like seals, but it was just a matter of trying to even get up into the space. Because it was similarly shaped to this, but the window kept going this way, and it was all blacked out here. Little dot matrix border, all gasket, and it was about this thin and really tall. So I couldn't even get a tri-edge up into the top corner. I had to like hand cut a tool apart, and then even then it was a big pain. I had to do it like 3-4 times. Not fun. Let's see how this is gonna line up. It's a little pointed at the top. Everything else seems good. We just have to unpoint that just a little bit more. Now we're stuck. No! We got a back glass. We'll hopefully have these quarter windows done. Then we got a strip to do. And the strip, oh no. The strip might take just as long as some of these quarters, because we're gonna maybe try something a little different here. That's a scary look. Hang on 1 second. I gotta try and install this first. I'm at a critical point here. I don't care about the stream. I care about getting this quarter window out of my life. All right. Oh, that's weird. That's definitely weird. It just, it still works. It just disconnected. I don't know why. That looks shaky. Ah, what the heck is going on? That looks jittery. Does it look jittery or does it look okay to you? There you go. Okay. I think we're okay now. So this one didn't go quite as well as the other one. So I gotta redo this one. It's close, but it's not quite there. I think one more good shot with the pattern and we'll have it. So the wedge kind of worked. Seemed to go smoother on the other side though, but I'm gonna keep these in here because it definitely helped. Did you give the other side more time with the wedges? Maybe. I mean, there could be very slight differences from one side to the other. I mean, opposite hand motions too. I like just, it's so slight, I don't think that was it. Sometimes you just, there is no real good reason why it didn't work out as well, it just didn't. But I'm hoping, stupid. I'm hoping we can template this. And then if that's the case, these are now way easier to just cut out because we have the right size. And I know where everything needs to go. Plus he's putting visors back up there anyways. But I'm pickier than that. I want this to look good with no visors. If I wasn't here, I probably would have let it go. Oh, come on. Just get that a little bit. Ooh. Ooh, maybe? Ah, stupid top corners. We might have gotten that one. No! Fuck. See? It's that little top corner right there. That's giving me a hard time. I wonder if we should have rounded it more, honestly. Looked like I rounded it too much. But it's butting up there, so we're just gonna see if we can fit it and just kind of sneak it in, but that's the hardest part of this whole thing right here. How much is, what, crystalline price? I don't know how much it is. It's expensive. I get so many questions just from general consumers about like crystallines, stuff like that. 3M's got good branding and they just charge a lot, but I don't think people really know why they pay so much for that film other than that. 3M's got a good branding game. They're everywhere. I'm not saying it's bad film, it's just like, is it really that much better? Probably not. Ah, damn it. We crunched it. Oh, it was almost there too. No shit. Yeah, it's not gonna work. All right, we gotta do this one more time. Well, so much for the wedges being my be-all, end-all. That top corner though, it's different. Let's keep that there. We'll be a little bit more aggressive with it. Maybe we just need to get mad at it. So this is a pretty good template. I'm just gonna round my top edge just a little bit more. What do you recommend? Longer rolls and then split it into parts, or smaller rolls? Whatever is most economical, but usually that's just you get the sizes that you need because it's not going to save you any money one way or the other. Definitely don't get a 60 and split it yourself. That's just a huge hassle. That's why your film suppliers are there. They're there to get you what you need. I'm having trouble with the connection. Please try again later. Wow, thanks. Watch. Okay. I'm gonna do like a scary, slightly more rounded corner up here. All right. What do you think? Have we done this quarter window enough? Did I tell you these weren't going to be super fun? It was almost super fun. One of them went well. The other one, not so much. But the more you do them, the more you learn. And hopefully you just find out that right thing that works for you. That was nice. That slid way far. I don't think it pinched either. Woo! All right, don't screw this up. The leave. I think we have to wedge it just a little bit more. Can you post a top edge gap? I don't have gaps. Yeah, I could. If I remember. It's a great thing to post. Just a general question, because there's like my edges, there's other people's edges, like, and you get people bragging about theirs, but you get a shotgun blast of top edges, so you can kind of see what everybody's doing. So that's a great one to post. This looks good. I'm really happy with this one now. Yay, except that little booble right there, just an air bubble. So let me, one more time. I should have got it. Yes. Oh, you still a little there. Yes. The fine point had one little bubble in the. Yes. All right, cool. We're done with it. Now we can put these on the back quarter windows. and we got to do these ones. I'm guessing these ones are going to be easier. These ones generally are a little bit easier to do. So we had a very extended session on the front quarter windows, more so than the roll downs. I mean, this is probably going to have a GoPro die on me because we were just streaming so long and doing these little ones, but hey. Need more tri-edges. And we did it in the right shade too. Wouldn't that be a bummer if we accidentally swapped it with a limo? So we got to remember to put limo on the back here. So we're gonna do the other side. That one's been sitting for a little bit. I'm gonna retint my car in ceramic. You'll like it. There's a big difference there. Florida sun or Michigan sun? It's all helpful. More so in the summertime, though. Florida's crazy. Living here gets old. That's how I feel about here. I'm so tired of winter. Where do I put? I gotta get a case. I don't know what case to get. I didn't like any of them. All right. Quarter windows, part 2. I got the new iPhone. I wanted something thin and grippy, but it seems like all like the silicone cases are like kind of bulky. The clear ones turn yellow. And like the Apple ones are like weird colors right now. I don't know. They have like dull tones and I don't know, they're just weird. So how are we gonna do this? Cheap clear Amazon case. I'm not even a big fan of how those feel though. I'm not like super picky, but they're either a little bulky or they just kind of suck. Spigen Tough Armor. Is it bulky though? A lot of those sometimes have like a stupid amount of bulk. PPF. Ooh. Ooh, actually not a bad idea. Except when I drop it, it's definitely gonna crack the screen still. PPF or not. Okay, not bad compared to OtterBox. Yeah, OtterBox is really a lot. I've seen your work in person. You're better than you show on video. Whoa, thank you. I don't know how that's possible, but I'll take the compliment. The text-to-speech says Spigen instead of speak. Is it Spigen? Or maybe I've been pronouncing it wrong. I've always said Spigen. Is that wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Put some tint on the case. That's the answers. Just tint all the things. I don't hate the PPF comment though. I'm like, that would add the grip. PPF's got that nice grip to it. Though a lot of the silicone cases, they're just like a little slick. Or they've got this like cloth on the inside, and the ones that we've had are just like they're extra bulky. They look like they'd be thinner, but they actually weren't. Okay, so we got it mostly sized up. Now I'm just gonna round this. And then I'll be able to shift up a little bit into place. Because I kind of want this thing to go up into the seal a little bit. Because I think we got a little bit of space there that we can do that with. It's pretty good. The leather apple cases. I was looking into those. Just look at the 13 Pro Max colors though. I was like, they have one dark one and the rest of them are all like dull color tones. It was like, even in the silicone cases, they don't have like white. They have like chalk pink. And I'm like, okay, do they just have like a white one? Nope. No, they don't. I don't know. Okay, so this here, probably just a little bit more. I'm just gonna size this up just slightly right here. Okay. You like green? Get a green one with Detroit Tint Studio. If the printed ones had a good fit to it, that'd be interesting. All right. I thought we'd be done way sooner. What is it? It's 1:30, 10, 11, 12, or 11, 12, 1. It's been about 3.5 hours. What do you say, about 3 hours? Oh, I guess we're not too far past, but it was for a good cause. But at this point, I definitely feel like I'm running a little bit behind. But hey. What do you guys think? Is this gonna be a disaster? Hope not. Maybe the passenger side just goes well, and the driver's side doesn't. More water. I feel like there's not enough. Oh wait, maybe there is. Sometimes like it's hard to describe, but when you start laying tight quarter windows in like this, I feel like they're so oversized until all of a sudden they just pop into place. But if you have any of these edges that are kind of like rolling as you're trying to get into place, it's just, it's not gonna cut it. They're gonna like bunch up and it's not gonna lay down. I haven't been able to get them that way. So I know we went a little bit farther down into the gasket on this one, just so we would have more wiggle room with, like, you push it down and you can kind of slide it up where you need it to go. So as long as I can fit it in that far, everything's pretty good. I just gotta make sure I can squeegee all this water out without creasing my film. Yikes. Ooh, that was pretty reassuring. What about this one? Ooh, we might have got it. Spec makes the Presidio grip. That sounds fancy. I remember I've heard of spec. Maybe I'll try and write it down. Everybody at AT&T used those. That's a good sign right there. Ooh. Okay, I got one little thing to press out here because of how it bunched up. That'll be fine. Yep. Just light. That'll heat right out. Woo! Hell yeah. I feel like we're making progress now. Is there branding from Geo on the tint? Oh, no. Unfortunately, no. It would be kind of cool if they had the little logos, but... It'd probably irritate more people than not. Even people that were getting 3M were iffy about that. Like, some would like it, and some would be like, nah, just take it off. I don't want to look at 3M all day. This little guy right here. Yes. Oh my god. That's reassuring. If I can get the last one. I like the feet left on there. Yeah, Avery's cool about that. Have you ever burned a gasket? Oh yeah. Yeah, and it happens real quick too. So you can use heat guns on the inside. Just keep your distance and know when you can kind of push it in and when you're not. The scariest part is if you're heating little spots here or here, you can create little burn spots on the trim real quick, and you won't even realize you're doing it until you look at it and you're like, oh shoot, and there's no coming back from it. So I would suggest trying to cover the spot when you go to heat it, so you could take like another card and just put it in the way. But that is a thing for sure. Okay, so now we need to follow the same steps on the other side. I think part of it is just I'm right-handed. It's easier just putting in the pattern kind of that way, and then when you switch hands up this way, it's just gonna be a little weird with some of these tighter windows. Where's do we dare? We could cut out a template here. XPEL has it too. Do they really? Does XPEL keep the branding on the tint? It's kind of like a higher end thing. When you have good branding, it's like your customers might have mixed feelings about it, but overall it's like, it's kind of, if you don't mind removing it regularly, it's like a way to show what you really put on there. So, you know, like putting, it's like the, like Gucci or, you know, whenever you see like high-end bags and stuff, they all have their, like it's literally just their branding all over the bag. That's how it is for window tint, but more people don't know about it. But when the person that's paying for it knows, some people will just want it off, and some people will be like, yeah, I got the XPEL XR Plus Prime with Amazon Prime. The Amazon Prime XR Plus. I feel like that's probably too wide. I didn't think I could hand cut a template for gasket quarter until I did it. Oh, I can't even see that side. I like to use the flat edge of the film, but I had this up here. This is, oh no. Let's not make that mistake. I made a joke about it earlier. That's 20. Yeah, that's what that is. Let's not do that. Let's put all his windows in limo except for the one rear quarter window. That's gonna be 20. Okay, now we have a flat edge to play with. Live window tinting, who knew? I know, YouTube's a crazy place, right? Okay, so Have you ever heard of Moto Shield? Yes, sir. Am I? Yes, okay. Yes, this is how this is gonna go. Yeah, I wanted to make a video. I don't know. I don't know if it's any good. It's it's a 99% IR heat rejection based on whatever meter that they're using. And it's kind of like, it would make a good title and a good thumbnail. Mostly a good title, I think. It'd be pretty great. I should just hand cut this. I can't see this for shit. Yeah. What the fuck am I even doing now? The light. Oh, my light's just off. Maybe this will help. Probably won't be as bad as Walmart. Yeah, probably not. Oh, that's the bottom. Alright, we're gonna cut it on the car. Sorry, I'm wasting time now. I've done templates. I'm just having a hard time seeing it. So with Moto Shield, I mean they're charging a premium for it. It could be fine. So it's kind of like a DIY to get maybe a decent ceramic product. It could be totally fine. I'm guessing it would be like good enough, but I don't really know. I guess that my thought as a professional is just, you know, if you want to just get it and install it in your car off of Amazon, that's what it's there for. So like, knock yourself out and go do it. How long is it gonna last? I never know. I never know until I have it on the car. But if you put it on the car yourself, expect to remove it yourself. It's one of those things where it could just come back to haunt you that way, where like it just didn't last as long as you wanted, or there we go. So like with most things, it's like why I don't like even cheap clear films is like they just cost you money. It's fine today, it bubbles up tomorrow, and then you're left with a very expensive mess on your hands that's just a huge pain in the ass to remove. So get something a little better. So as far as Moto Shield goes, it might be a halfway decent ceramic. I just don't know how long any of it would last. And I don't really have a good way to check unless it's just on the car. It's kind of where they win. You know, like putting a cheap vinyl wrap job. Imagine what that could potentially do to your paint. Any tips to get better on tinting? Practice. Really, that's it. You will hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock until you work through all your issues, and then you'll still hit roadblocks. Like the quarter windows that I'm dealing with today. Been tinting for a long time. I've seen bad vinyl wrap strip clear coats. Yep. So imagine like a similar thing with window tint. It's just, it gets dry, it gets flaky, and it's just a nightmare to remove. So, is it a good film? Yeah, it's probably fine. How long is it gonna last for you? I don't know. So if you're just like leasing a car, you don't intend to have it for a long time, then passing on the problem to the next person might be fine for you, and that is what it is. But if you want to keep the car for a long time, and you don't want to, like, you spent, I don't know, 100-ish bucks on getting your own material, and you installed it yourself, you could be paying far more than that in the future. I just like the sheer amount of people that defended the Walmart film, saying that I used too much soap. What about Geo's paint protection film? I trust them, but I haven't tried it. I would get a sample, see how you like it. They sell a paint protection film, and I think they want to get into it more, but I'm not a paint protection film guy. I've installed it in the past, but... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did it really? Shut up. How is that even possible? It's so close. This corner crunched. One more time. All right. Joy. Crunch the corner on that one. I think this is gonna get a record for like longest live stream. On quarter windows. Let me grab a new blade here. Yeah, this is not my not my week, man. Now they're selling ceramic coatings as well? Yeah, because ceramic. Like Ceramic Pro window tint, and we almost had it. It was just crunch the corner. All right. So I should have done this with the other one. I was dumb. So cut it at the bottom, shift it down just a little bit. Gives you a little bit of overlap everywhere that you need it, and then you can cut everything out exact, and then when you shift it up, it'll cover any potential exact gaps that you have. I can't weigh out leaving little naughty things because there's too many witnesses. That's right. Sun Distributing knows. Those are all the little things, like, would somebody notice this? Probably not. Suntech ceramic any good? Probably. There's too many films for me to keep up with, though. And then they just say they fixed any issues. I don't use them, though. So that little crunch corner, when I was mobile, yeah, that'd probably still be there. There's all those little things. So, take a job like this, and it'll just take way longer making sure all those things don't happen. But it was so dumb. It was just a little crunch in the the bottom corner. I couldn't believe that's even there. Everything else smoothed out, and it should have been fine. I don't even know how it happened exactly. It's just when I ran it over. So when you're mobile, you'd leave the crunch. I'd probably leave the crunch. It just depends on the day. I mean, what do you have time for? Do you have other things on your schedule? You have a lot more work to do? I don't know. That's where when people go to shops that they have too much work to do, they don't have time to fix small mistakes like that. They're better to just keep doing a good job. And then if somebody complains, then they'll deal with the complaint when it happens. So I try to hold myself to a higher standard here, though. But that's when a company puts out a bad product, they just how many complaints are they going to get versus fixing it? They just weigh the options. It just makes more sense. But you can't sleep that way at night. So this, now, no crunch. All right, we got it. Cool. All right, now can we do a windshield strip? Oh my God. Whew, what a car. But I can sleep well at night on those quarter windows right there. Those look really good. They all turned out really nice. So on this one, he wanted to go a little bit farther down. Ooh, that is actually pretty far. I'm gonna prep this. I'm gonna throw a strip up there, and then I'm going to have him take a look at it in a little bit here. How often do you do windshield strips? Not very. They've been happening a little bit more now. I think it comes and goes in waves. I used to have a lot of people doing strips on trucks and stuff. It's people that are finding me, though, a little bit different. So, more often than not, I get people going for full windshields instead of just windshield strips. Do you carry any 20 or 24 GeoShield boxes? Yeah, I have 24s. How many vehicles do you do today? I do one. I do one Toyota Corolla in a day. My whole day is good. There is no more today. I've been keeping the group clean. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, I've had very little I've had to do. Every time I go check, it's like everything's been cleared. I really appreciate the help. It's something that's been a long time coming. I just Facebook put out some admin tools to filter out a lot of the posts, but they have nothing for commenting. I could have filtered so much spam if they enabled comment filters. But everything's good with it now. All right, 5%. That's that one. I don't even know if I want to do this. Not the strip, the Datrix part. But, so you see this right here? That's obnoxious. It really is. Let me see if I can find my light. I want to see how obnoxious this is going to be to cut out that way. I'm looking. I got the small one out there. Should be brighter though. This is going to be nice and flat though. That's good news. So, whoa, that's far down. So he said maybe about a ½ inch below the mirror thing. I gotta say, that's pretty far down, especially with the way that it bows. I still have the boat. Yeah, I guess he's coming to pick it up today. I didn't get a free boat. Don't worry. That's a pretty beefy strip right there. All right. All right, I'm gonna put you on main cam for a sec, and then I'm gonna get him back here. Sweet. You wanna come take a look at this quick? Oh, hey. I heard her.
Yeah, well, I've been watching the stream.
I kind of figured. So, as far as I put it to the bottom of the tab, I know you said lower. Just jump in there and you can see how the ends bow out. It's gonna curve a little bit with the windshield.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want it higher than that?
No, actually, that's about where I was thinking.
Okay.
I just didn't know. Yeah, I should write with the bottom of that. It'll work out fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I put it like a ½ inch lower, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that'll work out perfect.
I think that'll do real good. Okay. Perfect. I'll leave it there and get it cut out. All the rest of it, it's looking good.
Yeah, I was
You'll
gonna
be
say,
happy with it.
you've been fighting those quarter.
I figured it'd be a battle. Okay. Hang on one second. Oh God. All the things. Here, I'll open the door for you. So, I know the cover's still going to be put back on. But, yeah, so this window right here, you can see All the things. Look at how much light that lets in here. That's so bright now. GoPro. Ah, that doesn't work. Okay. So we no longer have a boat. Let me make sure this is all lined up. This will be the last thing. What did you do on the boat? Unfortunately, nothing. I just wasted some time on the boat. So, the boat was supposed to get done, and then I spent a day with it, like a day and a half, and it just wasn't happening. I didn't learn much about the windows other than it would be better to have it pulled. Should have had Rick come help with the boat. You know, I talked to him while I was working on the boat. He said, "Man, I hate doing boats." Where's my other light? I know I have this one. I was just hoping I could find the other light. Guess not. The shrink wasn't hard. It was getting the film to lay down on the inside. Because that curve just has a lot of tension. And no matter which way that I put it, I got it close. Your challenges keep them young. No, it's just getting it to. So there's a point where that glass curves around, and I could get it to stay fine on the outside. When you move that over to the inside, you just got to be there to heat it up and press it down a little bit, or just kind of move the tension to another spot. But the gasket, like, okay, so you know how long we just spent on these quarter windows? It was basically that type of window, but curved. So the curve on the outside is different from the curve on the inside. So it's not quite lining up very well either. And all that together, I'm looking at this going like, all right, even if I get this done, am I ever gonna wanna do this again? Probably not. I need my other light. I can't believe I lost that thing. It's around here somewhere. This place has just been a mess the past 4 or 5 days. So yeah, it is the first thing that I took on that I couldn't get tinted out of here. He's not upset. I mean, he said he'd rather have it tinted than not, obviously, but he was really cool about it all. I mean, if you can't get it, you're just straight up with them about it. I didn't damage the boat or anything, so everything's okay with. Oh, there it is. Good. This is the one that I want. As long as you didn't damage anything, you know, what else are you gonna do? Are we gonna do it? Should we line this up on the inside first and then cut it out? Or should we cut it out and then... Maybe we should do this beforehand. So there is one cut I'm gonna have to make here without dot tricks. That is this. We're gonna be doing something a little bit different on this one. I've never done this on a windshield strip, but he drove a long way for this. So I'm gonna try and make it look a little better. So I'm gonna give it a little dot matrix border. Because the dot matrix is, or the dot tricks is gonna leave a little line anyways. So we're gonna leave that in a little border. It should look pretty good. So we want to keep this template right here. Straighten this line out. And then, yep, that should do it. What do you think? Should we leave it like that? Some people will tint dot matrices like that. I don't understand it. That's wild to me. You should have put glass 8 on it. I wanted to see it. I could do it, but I want to be pretty precise with that cut, and I didn't feel like I'd get it quite as good any other way. But that is a gigantic cutout. I thought I was referring to like a little border here, or a back window. And then I looked at the windshield and I was like, whoa. Look, we got no dot matrix on the edges, but then we got this massive one in the middle. Isn't it crazy we put stickers on windows? That's all it is. We're just nitpicky. We're just nitpicky sticker putter honors. Have you ever messed up electronics? Yep. Yes, I have. It's not a fun time. Let me tell you. So with the dot tricks, it does leave a little white line at the bottom. On here, I'm just gonna blend that into a light dot matrix border this time. I think that should look good enough. It's not something I've ever done before, but on this one especially, it's like, you know what? I could see it. I've had enough time to think about it. It's a little different, but hey, let's see what we get. What do you even do? You start contacting people that can fix it. See about having it dropped off or towed to a dealership. See what the owner wants to do. But you gotta take care of it one way or another. Unless you can fix it yourself. I mean, it's one reason tinting for shops isn't so bad. Sometimes there's people there and then apologize a lot, yeah. So, some shops I've been really fortunate to work with because they have people that can take care of a lot of my mistakes. When it came to situations like that, or especially early on, you know, then you kind of work as a team, right? To resolve it rather than just throw somebody under the bus. Can you use the clear Elmer's glue on dots? I've heard about it. I just haven't done it. I don't think it lasts long term. There's like, it's just exposed to like UV all the time. So, I mean, it might be better on a windshield, but long term on a back window, it's you're gonna probably have yellowing from it. Okay. That. So we'll keep those templates there. What's HP? Hewlett Packard. Or high performance. High performance. HP is usually metallized film. Is this the only car? Yes. Yeah, that's one reason we're doing all this, the little extra with the windshield strip. Or not the only reason, but like that's why I can have enough time to like stream all this right now. And I'm not strapped for time on a 1 o'clock, because I usually have like a 12 o'clock and a 1 o'clock. I was gonna probably go live with the plotter, but that's not happening today. We'll do it next week. Next week or Saturday, maybe. How many blades do you go through per vehicle? Normally just one. Normally just one, or a razor blade. There's a fair amount of snapping, but it's when... Oh my god. I'm just never gonna answer questions anymore. I think you guys do it on purpose. What's HP? So I answered what's HP, but I meant to say what's up. I hate you. Something like that. Trying to decide. That should be good, right? So that's like way off. It's like way off. Cool. All right, so these Dotrick pieces should be really easy then to like just slide in here. All the rest of the steps. Cleaning, lining up the initial pattern, and then hopefully that'll fill in what I want it to. It'll just a couple of patches. So it's gonna be black out here. See, So it's gonna be completely blacked out. So I'll never be able to see through it ever again. What's the absolute lowest you'd go on your windshield? 35. I don't go darker than that on a windshield. Kind of sucks after that. Well, like, it's too much. But I'm not some of you crazy guys that are like triple limo, all the things. What size? The size 20. I think this is a 20-inch roll, but this is a Dotrix vinyl roll, so it comes in one size. So this is going to be much easier as long as I can get into. You know, it gets to the interesting parts, and then something happens. Sorry. I'm gonna get it back out for the last piece. Shut up, really? Eminem's got a restaurant called Mom's Spaghetti? I got nothing, guys. Hang on. Mom's Spaghetti, that's awesome. So, yes, the GoPro is helpful in showing exactly what you're doing. Also, having a microphone, not putting a camera just in the corner and completely walking away. I'm having... Datrix is a black vinyl. I've got mixed thoughts on this, but I think the alternative isn't super great. So okay, yeah, it's definitely probably charged enough now, but these things. So now I can. You'll hear double audio for a sec, and then the camera's not going to work for a minute. I've got to do something. 2 seconds. See, and then I do this, and then I do that, and then that, and then that. Okay, cool. So we should be back to where we were before. So that's kind of what it looks like right now. And I'm not super stoked, but it is significantly better. So we have basically a dot matrix border here, and we're going to blend in the rest of it. This is just, I'm noticing as it's drying, these are really fine dots. So this is just right up against the edge. It's a little trickier on a windshield strip than I thought it'd be. So a good part of this is just still wet towards the edge, but the more you heat it up, the more you dry it out, the better it seems to. Hi. Bye. But the alternative with Datrix is you cut on the outside of the dots, and it leaves like a little white line. And I think you want to cut outside the dots with the tint. Yeah. That is usually how you do it. I just purposefully did it differently this time. Because no matter what, you see a line, and you can't fix it. So if that line's not like perfectly straight, kind of looks a little funny on the edges. So we're getting close. Better than it was, but being able to fill the dots with something would have been even better. I just don't have anything to fill it with. But I didn't realize that Eminem had a restaurant in Detroit called Mom's Spaghetti. That's amazing. I'm gonna have to go. But I'd imagine if I feel that way, there's a lot more people that feel that way. Yeah, it'll be okay. It's not amazing, but what are you gonna do about it? I just think it's extra funny that there's no dot matrix border around this whole thing. It at least looks slightly more uniform that way. That place is going to be busy forever. It's probably like Chick-fil-A opening up. I mean, why do people want to go? Just M&M Mom Spaghetti. I mean, that's hilarious. This way. Okay. That should have been pretty apparent, but... Looks like we're on the last piece. So we have a couple of Chick-fil-A's. And they're just, we don't, like, Chick-fil-A is not a very big chain in Michigan. Not yet. They're slowly making their way here. So people love Chick-fil-A, and the ones that are here are ultra busy because there's just not a lot of them. So Dotrix is a thin, soft, black vinyl, like chat said. And it's helpful to black out the dot areas. That's what it's for, Dotrix. But it's not a perfect fix. So what I tried doing on this one is overlapping the dots just a little bit, getting this close, and then still blacking out the dots, because like the alternative is the whole thing just kind of not being super even. So it was more of like a special request thing because I saw the video, and I'm
Us
like,
Customs super chatted $5. Goes.
super. I kind of wanted to see what it would be like on this, because this is a big, ugly dot matrix area, and now on the inside at least, that looks cool. I like the look on the inside. It'll be way more functional. Sorry, I kind of missed that one. Super chat, UZ Customs, go. Thank you. I don't feel that way today, but maybe with the quality that we put out today, maybe we earned it a little bit, but definitely took us a while to get there today. But hey, it happens. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. So that's pretty much that. It's overlapped. Can you use any vinyl? I haven't tried. I haven't tried other vinyls, so I can't say yes or no. I mean, you might have a similar result, but Dotrix is just kind of like a softer one. So if it's a stiff vinyl, it's not going to do the same thing. But you could try it, get some cheap vinyls and see how it goes. You also want it to last, so don't want it to get brittle or anything down the road. Putting a bead of glue helps. Yeah, you want something that's UV resistant. No, it doesn't make sense that way. So if you do Dotrix first and then you do the tint over it, Dotrix is what's filling in the gaps. But what's extra annoying is, for whatever reason, if you do the Dotrix second, there's still like a little line. So however you slice it, it's not a perfect solution, but it does significantly black out the dots, give you a much cleaner look overall. But it's still got its drawbacks. It's just very, very soft, so I don't want to like rip a hole through this stuff. Just get this to lock down right here, and then it'll look like it did its job. Ooh, that's pretty good. But this isn't a product that I install hardly at all. Not anymore. I used to do it a lot more on like the older model Fusions. This was kind of a more rampant request, just because, you know, somebody would have a dot matrix this big, they'd get it tinted, and then they come back and complain. And you'd explain it to them, and they'd just go, I understand, but I don't like it. So is there anything you can do? This was that thing that we came out with, or the product that we found that was appeasing everybody. So if you sold it early enough, usually you could upcharge for it. So it was like kind of like a $50 add-on. Like we can put a Dotrix thing to help black out your dots more because the car that you have is just going to do this. As long as they understood it, as long as you explained it beforehand, it worked out pretty well. It's not too bad. I think that'll look, I mean, the whole thing looks way more darker. So you just have this little band of dots there, which is what I was going for, to help not really blend it, but just so you wouldn't have like an abrupt line there. It was a creative decision. Can you sell it on your website? I don't. But Sun Distributing, they sell it. It's too big. I don't like shipping big things. Just the very top. You know, I've never been able to, if you didn't tell me, I mean, I know from looking at it, but if I just got in this car and I sat in here and I saw this was all blacked out now, I just wouldn't even notice it. It looks good. It just looks nice, all blacked out. I like it. Dotrix is expensive. Well, it is a little bit more expensive for vinyl, but, you know, what else are you going to get? I don't know. There's usually a reason a higher quality product costs what it costs, so. But so most of the time, wait, what was it? Is it expensive? Isn't it like $100 to like $150 for like a short roll? Is that doesn't seem okay? So here's the thing: you can get two big. I think it's like 50 feet. Is that Sun Distributing? Yeah, there, that. Sorry, a couple people. Let me break down how you're gonna price it. That'll probably really help things. I'm doing this just because. Normally, like I said, this isn't something that I do very often. So I just have a roll of Dotrix hanging around, and every once in a while, I'll put it to some good use. So, you know, it's one of those things that we can do on stream. Hey, cool. There's a lot of interest, so it makes for an interesting discussion and topic too. If you're gonna price this stuff, generally speaking, it would be like $50. You do it like a windshield strip. So you explain that, hey, your car has this really big dot matrix border, and I want to make it look as good as I possibly can. So if you get this, it takes a little bit of extra work. It's $50, but it'll make the top of your window look much cleaner. Otherwise, you'll be left with the way that it kind of just adheres to the window. So if you're charging $50 per strip, you can get 2 strips out of each section. So that roll will more than pay for itself. Dang, dude. All right. So now I think we can finally close this up. Just a little thing. As soon as I close it, that's when I see it. Do you need to shrink the windshield strip? No, not usually. It's one of the few windows that I generally don't ever shrink, but you can. And I wouldn't be mad at you for doing it. Okay. If you get somebody that wants like half a windshield, that's different. That you're gonna want to shrink. But windshield strips, they just have enough, like where they're not very far down. You can usually just even everything out. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. I can safely say that. I'm cool with that. It was a good creative decision. It wasn't all my idea. Where do we put the key before we close all the doors? That's probably the last thing that we need to find here. Aha! We found it. Whew! And there we have it. All the pain and suffering on those quarters. It turned out really good. This one took quite a lot longer than I thought it would. I know part of that was just getting wrapped up in some stream, but these quarter windows, no doubt. Looks good. Looks really good. I think just 1 or 2 tiny little things on the edges. Just make sure I press down. But we are this. Sweet. You might have mentioned this, but did he go with carbon or ceramic? He went with the standard. All that for Pro Classic? Oh, it looks good. All right, cool. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I can sleep tonight. Let me shout out some super chats here real quick. So big thank you to UZ Customs, Daniel Reyna, Devin, David, and Sean. Sean with the early ass one. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Wow, this one went really, really long. Normally I have a 1 o'clock appointment, but that's totally fine. We added the windshield strip, those quarter windows though. Those you want to pick up these little tri-edges, or just some extra tools to use as wedges for those gasket style windows. That actually helped quite a bit. So it's really about just getting your cuts right, and sometimes it just just getting them placed that carefully and everything squeegeed out clean can just be annoying. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I should have a stream tomorrow. Tomorrow? Am I going to? Maybe not. I don't know. Probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's a little bit of a funny day, too. This whole week's just been really weird for me. So, thank you guys for tuning in today. I know it's been a long one, but hope you enjoyed anyways. And I will catch you either tomorrow or Monday. We'll have something. So we'll be breaking in that plotter very soon. So you guys have a good one. Goodbye. Goodbye.